there, Bernadette McClelland, and welcome to the first in a series of commercial conversations. So I'm really looking forward to working with you and to share some ideas with you to help you build your consultancy, your practice, or your business, and to get you in front of more of the right buyers and help you to convert more of those opportunities. And so what I would really love to focus in on today are two key points when we talk about tangible outcomes. I work with a number of people and we always start with a strategy session of some kind or another. And strategy sessions, we ultimately pull apart and come up with some goals. We also do that personally on New Year's Eve, don't we? And how many of us actually see them through. So there's something about goal setting that a number of people seem to think, yeah, you know what, that's just goal setting. Whereas others are get really entrenched in setting these goals and being really clear on the path they're going to get to, and they achieve those outcomes. So I want to help those of you where goal setting doesn't come naturally or you don't complete. So do you know what I'm talking about there? I've got to put my hand up because I also fall into that category, believe it or not. So I want to tell a story going back in time. So let's take a step back to 2009 and 2010. So 2009, and this is for a story for another time, but my husband and I ended up, both of us, going bankrupt. We lost our house, we lost our investments, we lost everything, and we were on Centrelink. So for those outside of Australia, Centrelink's another word for welfare. And so I was in bed for all of 2009, and coming out of that and getting better, it had allowed me an opportunity to think, okay, what is my goal? Like, where do I want to get to? And what can I do? So we borrowed money to invest in my learning. And so from that, I did an 18-month diploma in all things coaching, life coaching, sales coaching, executive coaching, business coaching, you name it. I got accredited in it. Now, I'm somebody that if I'm going to say I'm going to do something, if I'm going to go out there and work with businesses and work with, coaches and consultants and course creators and all of those wonderful creative people, I need to be able to walk my talk. And so my goal was to get a coach. And by doing that, I borrowed money again. Yes, it's all being paid back, but I borrowed money to get myself a coach. Now, I'm going to share something with you because I ended up getting a Tony Robbins coach. So I went to Tony Robbins' organization and paid for a coach, and her name was Cynthia. She's an amazing woman. And so I had homework to do. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because there's two tools that I want to share with you today. And so the homework that I had to do was to go away and write myself a manifestation letter. And I'm like, what on earth is a manifestation letter? I had never heard of it before. So I had to go forward a year and write a letter to somebody I hadn't seen for that past year and share with them everything that had happened in my life across every area of my life. That is my letter. And it was dated the 24th of March, 2010. Now, I'm going to share with you why this letter was instrumental in me being where I am today. So, kicks off, I am 51 years young and extremely happy, and it finishes off with, I am still being coached by Cynthia, and Anthony Robbins has sent me an email and called me personally to congratulate me on a massive year and asked me to consider being his coach for Australia and New Zealand. Now, 3 months later, I was on a plane to Los Angeles, and 20 of us were chosen globally to work with him. Only 16 of us made the cut. I was one of the 16. So I want you to consider whether it's a vision board or whether it is a manifestation letter. The secret here is getting your right brain going, because for so many people, setting goals is such a left brain, linear, mechanical focus. and it's not getting us here. So what I want you to do is to write yourself a letter, 12 months in the future, and share in that letter everything that's happened with you for the next 12 months. And it's amazing how your brain will get creative and imaginative, and there will be gold in there. And what you focus on, we know we end up getting. Now, that is tool number one. Tool number two is a little bit more left brain, and it's kind of a combination of left and right brain. So one of the tools that I still use today that I adopted from working with Anthony Robbins as his coach, this particular tool, I've adapted it to suit me. And so this tool I refer to as my GPS squared model. And when we know that something's, to the power of, we can put more power into it. So you need from and this is downloadable, by the way. So if you go to 3redfolders.com/goals, you will be able to download this template and use it yourself. So no cost, there you go. Get very clear on your goal, so we know that, and everyone knows what a SMART goal is, so I'm not going to go through those that acronym. It's got to be timely and specific. Secondly is understanding the purpose behind that goal. Why do you want it so much? Who else is going to impact? Why do you want that goal now? And then the third one is, what are the steps? So you guys know this already, okay? So this is basic. You've heard this before. This is nothing new. So do this laundry list of steps that you need to take to achieve that outcome. That's part one. Part two is to get very clear on your persona. Who do you need to show up as in order for that to be that person who is going to achieve that goal? So in order for me to become one of Tony Robbins' coaches, I needed to show up in a certain way. In order for me to be headlined in London as Australia's leading female speaker in sales, I needed to show up in a certain way. So your persona and who you need to be in those little shifts, you don't need to change who you are, but you certainly need to make some little shifts. So who do you need to be and what are those shifts? The next component is gratitude. Now, when we talk about gratitude, we always tend to talk about past and present. Like, I'm really grateful, I've got a wonderful family. I'm really grateful that I got to travel. I'm really grateful for, who I am. I'm really grateful. I want you to do something different. I want you to think of this outcome as though you've already achieved it, as though you are already that person who has achieved it. And I want you to be grateful for what you are about to achieve. And bring that gratitude into today. So you're really being grateful for what you have already achieved that you haven't achieved yet, if that makes sense. But that's a missing piece. So you really do get ownership. Now, the third component, or the sixth component on this document, on this template here, is the shortlist. And it's the vital few. It's focusing, it's taking that long list of tasks that you need to take, the steps that you need to take, and it's using Pareto's principle of 20%. So when you can focus in on the vital few, what tends to happen is you tend to complete things. You create momentum, you deliver more quality, and you have less stress. So I'm going to get you to do those two exercises. Is one, write your manifestation letter and get that right brain going, get that imagination going, get that creativity going, and also look at the power of your GPS. Your goal, your purpose, your steps, your gratitude, your persona, and your shortlist. So on that note, have an absolutely wonderful day, and I look forward to your company next Monday morning, Melbourne time, 9:30, and we're going to kind of use this as your sales kickoffs. So I want you to adapt these tools, and I want you to consider it from your business growth perspective. On that note, have an amazing day, and we will speak to you really, really soon. Bye for now.